You know, a typical November game, there's some things that I'm really excited about. Number one, that we did well tonight, and some things that I think we learned about our team. November is a month of learning. Players are learning. They're learning each other. They're learning our system. But the coaching staff is learning on what combinations of players work well, who can do what we need to teach and do a better job of as we move towards other parts of our schedule. I'm happy we were able to play Kadeem a little bit. The reason that I played him was the injury that he has. He's not going to get further behind. He's not going to take a step backwards by going out there. If anything, it actually is almost a form of rehab. And I think every couple of days he'll continue to be closer to 100%. Clearly he wasn't 100% tonight. So we gave him a try, and then when the lead got big, we kept him out of the game. Although I was tempted to put him in the game because we clearly needed somebody to guard McKnight, number 11, who is one heck of a player. He had 20 against us in the second half. But being able to rest Kadeem, again, we won the game. Nobody got injured in the game, and we learn, we move on, and hopefully we'll be a better basketball team on Monday when we play our next opponent.
Sean, how much did you feel that Doosan's defense really ignited his whole game today?
You know, I really was happy with Doosan's aggressiveness. You know, he has put a ton of work in, and he's earned his starting position. You know, he had 15 rebounds. You know, somebody may say, well, of course, he's the biggest guy on the court. He should have 15 rebounds. I would just say then, would he have gotten 15 rebounds a year ago in this game? No way. So I think, you know, again, confidence is a big thing. Game experience, there's nothing like it. For him to be able to go out there and rebound 15 times in a game, get 10 defensive rebounds, it's a great thing for him. And he scored like we've come to expect him, so 13 points and 15 rebounds. I think that was about as big of a highlight as we had. And early in the year, no matter who you play, you always worry about turnovers. And we played the whole second half with 1 turnover, and we played the entire game with 7. I think this year's team is a team that can play 40 minutes with single-digit turnovers, and that's a big difference from a year ago. That's one of the things a year ago that hurt our team. So it's good to see us be able to do that as well.
Is that just because you have better ball handlers, you think, this year? Or?
Yes, we have more guards playing a little bit of a different style. You know, with Lowry and Keanu, both guys are very mobile. And I think just really even our big guys, Chance and Doosan, they do a good job of valuing the ball, making good decisions. And we as a coaching staff are trying to really look at that to put our guys in good position to not turn the ball over. But it always comes back to them. You know, Parker, there are a few things that I wish he would have done better tonight, but 0 turnovers in 30 minutes from your point guard is outstanding.
Was it part of the game plan to get Doosan going early to help his confidence?
You know, getting the ball close to the basket, whether we're driving it, offensive rebounds, throwing the ball in the post, we want to do that. I think that's something that we're well aware of, is how many free throw attempts we get per game. Are we aggressive? You know, 26 free throw attempts. I think you guys have seen us shoot now. We're a very good free throw shooting team. So not only getting there is important, but we make them once we're there. So, you know, 22 for 26. We have a number of guys who shoot a good percentage from the line. You know, for such a young player, Raleigh Alkins, and really Kobe as well, they have the ability to get to the free throw line. You know, Kobe didn't get there 1 time tonight, which is odd for him, but Raleigh got there 9 times. So that's great to see. And but it wasn't that we had just throw the ball to Doosan. We always talk about trying to drive the ball and get it close to the basket. We're going to be a better team when we do that.
What was the difference in getting that aggressiveness out of Doosan? Similar matchups, and size-wise at least, maybe in the last couple games, but much different the way he performed.
There's a difference between starting and coming off the bench. And when you're a starter, you feel game pressure. You feel the intensity of the first 4 minutes. There's a lot at stake to score 0-0. It takes you some time to get used to that feeling. And it's not just Doosan. I think that group in general starting to get used to going out there and getting us off to a good start. But he clearly was ready to play tonight. Doesn't surprise me. And I thought Chance did a good job as well. Chance in 22 minutes had 10 points and 8 rebounds. So our front court did a good job using the size advantage that we had. I mean, you guys know this. You could play smaller undermanned teams, that doesn't mean your big guys are going to exploit that. And tonight, the fact that we were able to do that was a good thing.
Can you talk real quick about the combination with Raleigh and Kobe? Maybe how they feed off each other. They're almost similar players in athleticism and what they do.
Both are really talented players, freshmen, and they've done a great job for us here early on. They're learning. There's a lot of things, especially on defense, that we need them to improve. But in fairness to them, they're out there the entire game. We're asking them to guard the other team's best players right now. And that's kind of I think the gift of our schedule and some of the things that we're going through. We're allowing them to learn a lot. We're allowing them to get great experience, and I think will benefit as the season progresses. But they're having success doing it as well.
So a lot of upside from both of them. For a month or two, they're going to be much different.
I mean, they were 12 for 26 from the floor. They combined for 32 points. And, I think both guys, we were 3 for 19 from three. The other lesson and we talked a lot about this at the one time out and after the game, we don't run post-up plays for Parker. We don't ask Duson to bring the ball up the court. We don't run certain plays for certain players because each of them has a special skill set. Lauri Markkanen is one of the best offensive front court players in the country. We have a big mismatch at times, and he has the ability to shoot the basketball. As a big guy, that's not common. It's up to us to find him. And, you just can't play as if he's just a normal big guy out there. There are times when he was open and the ball didn't find him. And then all of a sudden it did, and he went on like his own personal 8-0 run. But learning his value on offense and allowing other people to play off of him, that's our responsibility as a coaching staff, his teammates, and then, Lauri's efficient. He's not going to take bad shots. And that was about as easy of a 22-point night as I've seen.
Well, Kobe, you've kind of had to play him a little bit at point guard. Is he moving along there at all as far as the way you trust him there?
He is. He's learning off the ball, on the ball. Even when he's not what you would consider our prototypical point guard. He's using ball screens. We have him in a role right now a lot like we had with Nick Johnson. Although you didn't call Nick a point guard, it was almost like having a second point guard out there. And but Kobe's learning how to play college defense, and it's not easy for a young freshman to guard a guy like McKnight. I know he plays for Sacred Heart, but I'm here to tell you, he came in the game averaging 26. He left the game averaging 25 and a half. He scored 20 in the second half against us. So I think you could talk about it in practice. We can show film, but not until you go out there in a game do you really understand what it takes, how hard it is. And, both Raleigh and Kobe learned a lot over the last couple of games. Ditto for Lauri.
Sean, you mentioned Kadeem. In 5 minutes, did you have a plan on what you wanted med-wise there?
We were hoping to get more, but once the game and the score got lopsided and we saw him like on the one layup, it wasn't that he couldn't. There's a fear factor. When your knee hurts, you don't necessarily trust it. So that's why it was good for him to just get out there a little bit. But I think the next couple of days he'll continue to get better. He got hurt on a Friday. Today's day 8. So I think you get into 10, 11, 12 days. My hope is when we go to Las Vegas, he's really close to 100%.
Fear factor from your end or his end?
His end. And I'm telling you, when you're around Ray and you watch something happen to Ray and your knee hurts, it's not like you liked what you saw. So I think he's a little bit tentative, but structurally he's fine. And like I said, we wouldn't have put him out there tonight if he was further at risk. It was just he still has some soreness.
Yeah, he had that one play where he drove down court and I think he fell on it twice and seemed to. I wonder if he got up, if that maybe boosted.
No,
him.
he's fine. He's fine.
Any other questions? Thanks.
Yep.